Hello everybody, I am Fuzzyface. We're back today once again with this McLaren career on Motorsport Manager. We'll head straight over to the standings just to recap of where we are at the moment. We have Lewis Hamilton in second, we have Alonso in third in the drivers' standings. Only 2 points separating our drivers. Between Hamilton and Button there is a 7-point gap. Jenson Button, who obviously we released last season, he ended up at Mercedes, and Mercedes have given him the best car at the moment. Even though Bottas is the better rated driver, it seems as though they've gone with Jenson Button as a #1 driver. Whether Valtteri Bottas is going to come back later in the season, his car starts getting a lot more reliable, but it seems Mercedes are pretty much concentrated on one car, and they've got Button's car reliable and he's performing really well, whereas Bottas is just lagging behind. But anyway, we've got Lewis Hamilton here, second in the championship. He's not been too strong in qualifying. He's been quite far down the order, but look at that. From 11th to 2nd, from 7th to 1st. He's had some really good results other than this one in Sydney, which was still a really good result at the time. Obviously, since then, he's done a first, second, third. He's been dropping down the order slightly. And Alonso, meanwhile, 7th, 5th, 7th, 5th. So I wonder if he's going to finish qualifying in 7th in Tondela. But he's been immense this season. He's been on the podium each time he's raced, but that one win is what is keeping Lewis Hamilton ahead of him. We do have the new engines in the car. We had them for the last race. They seem to do quite well in that we qualified a little bit higher up the field. Tondela gearbox is crucial here. We are currently working on getting a rear wing up to scratch that we've just built, and then once we've done that, we can concentrate on these two new engines and getting them fully up to spec of what we know they can get up to. We are currently building, I think this is our fourth iteration of the engine design this season. It does have a random legendary component in it, so I don't know how high this engine is going to get, but it's going to take 21 days to build. It's going to be, I don't even think it's going to be completed before Cape Town. So we're going to jump straight into the race then. Should we go? No, we'll go third or above. It did sort of work out last time because we've seen this. If we do finish high up in the race, even if we go for this one, we won't get 1,930 because we will have some bonuses to pay out. So we might as well go for this one. It's only £100,000 less if we don't actually qualify in the top 3. So it's neither here or there. We might as well go a lot higher than that. So let's get straight into the race here, and we'll come back when it's time to go through the grid order. So here we go with the grid for the Tondela Grand Prix. First and second we have Vettel, Button in the Ferrari and Mercedes respectively. Vettel still a long way ahead of the Mercedes. Then in third and fourth we have Lewis Hamilton and Bottas. Hamilton putting an absolute stormer of a lap. Alonso in 5th, Raikkonen in 6th in our McLaren, and then the Ferrari just behind us. Then we have the Williams of Daniel Ricciardo and Stoffel van Dorn in a Red Bull in 7th and 8th. 9th and 10th we have the Force India of Sergio Perez and the Red Bull of Max Verstappen, and then the other Williams of Jerome D'Ambrosio in 11th and Carlos Sainz in 12th. The Force India of Ocon 13th, Gasly 14th in the Toro Rosso, Ericsson in the Sauber 15th, Palmer in the other Renault in 16th, and then we've got the Toro Rosso Russian time cars bringing up the rear in 17th and 18th, and then the Sauber and Russian time right at the back of the grid. Pascal Wehrlein a little bit further down. Sauber not doing as well as they did last season. They were pretty competitive last season, in and around the top 10. This season I don't know whether it's a problem with their engine, whether they've gone for a cheaper engine and don't have the Ferrari engine, which gave them a little bit of a boost, but we'll see what we can get out of this race. So here we go, and just preface before we start the race, I do have the zoom mod in now on this, so we can actually zoom in a little bit further. We're going to watch the start of the race from just behind. Hamilton battling with Jenson Button, but Alonso makes a brilliant move up the inside, gets the lead from Vettel early on here. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep that. And there we got Fernando Alonso in his little orange suit. But an amazing start from Fernando Alonso there, and he's pulling away from Sebastian Vettel here. What we're going to do, because I think we've got Hamilton pretty much stuck in this place, we're going to turn down a tiny little bit with Hamilton. We'll sort of let him sit here until he can get the boost going. But look at this, Fernando Alonso just flying away here. Just flying away. He's already got a 2.5 second gap over Sebastian Vettel. Don't know if he's going to be able to keep that up. We just need to make sure our strategy goes right, because as it is, we've got 3 laps left on this. And then medium and then soft, which is what we're going to have to do for both drivers. It's going to have to be soft, medium, soft. We're going to follow that strategy for both of our drivers here. Maybe we might go soft. We might put Hamilton on this soft, depending on how he is and how we're close to making an undercut work. He might go for a soft after that. But Alonso, by far and away, look at that, 3.5 seconds he's already up here into the second lap. So we're going to go ahead, start turning him down now. We want to let this get up to about 1.2 down. Hamilton, meanwhile, is struggling at the moment. He's fallen behind the Toro Rosso of Gasly, who's made a brilliant start. We might push his fuel intake a little bit more. We'll use some boost. We might as well save the boost for... No, we'll use a bit so we can start harvesting. There's no point keeping it 100%, but we'll knock it down to 80 so we can harvest the energy back up. Whereas Hamilton, we've used all of that boost. Managed to get him up into 5th place. He's managed to pass Gasly and Ricciardo. But he's going back into harvest mode now. Alonso, meanwhile, 1st place, 4-second gap. Should we try extend this little gap a little bit more into the pits? Because where should we get in this lap? We've already seen Raikkonen come in for the hard tyre. Where would we be coming back out if we pit now? 4th place, which wouldn't be too bad. Which wouldn't be too bad, and we can easily get to the end of the race from this position with already swapping tyres. We'll get our stint over and done with on the slower tyres. Risk fast. It says we'll come back out in a second. I don't want to risk that because I don't want to throw out the race. We're in a really good position. We don't actually need to risk the fast pit stop. I don't get how we get back out into 2nd place though. Even with the fast pit stop, I don't get how that timing works. But we've got Bottas coming into the pits as well. Lewis Hamilton currently chasing Valtteri Bottas here. Don't think we've got the chance to catch him. Alonso now coming into the pits. There goes Alonso. Good pit stop. Come on. There we go. And we can push coming out of the pits. Can't actually see the car. Where is he? There he is. And out of the pits. Out into 4th place. So we can use a lot of this battery power now that we were saving. Sort of catch back up to Hamilton. Hamilton's only a couple of seconds in front. Even after the 1 pit stop. But Hamilton currently chasing down Jenson Button. These tyres are in the dirt. Right, so could we... I think Button's going to be coming in this time as well. Yes, he is. So we're not... Should we go for the softer tyre? Should we try undercut him in the pits and get close to him? And we'll go fast. Try and get as close to him as we can. And then we'll finish Hamilton off on the slower tyre. I think that is a plan. I think that's the plan. We don't have to currently worry about recovering any fuel yet. We should have an advantage now that we've used up all this fuel. Hamilton just behind here, so we've got a little bit of a boost to use out of the pits. Whereas Alonso now is going to get a massive lead, so let's use a little bit of it. Oh, we used it too early, still in the pits. Oh no, we're not. We're using some of it. There we go. We'll actually push these tyres a bit to try and get past Jenson Button. We can push these medium tyres as well of Alonso. Now that we're in 1st place, should we think about... No, we'll keep going because we should have the... We should be going a little bit quicker since we've got about a lap down on fuel. Hamilton though falling behind Jenson Button here a little bit. Not being able to catch him. Sort of staying about half a second or more behind him. Alonso doing amazing out in 1st place. He hasn't been caught since making that wonderful move on pretty much the 1st corner, wasn't he? He managed to get past Button and Vettel in 1 sweep. An amazing start from him. And Hamilton now falling behind Jenson Button. Catching back up. He must have used his boost, Jenson Button, I think. He must have used some boost. I don't know why he ended up going so far behind there. Let's cool these tyres down a little bit. We'll try and get as far as we can on these soft tyres. Alonso, look at that, 3 seconds. Vettel's starting to come back. They are on the same tyre. We're going to go soft as soon as we can, really. Can't do it from now, but we'd get back out into 3rd and then be a lot quicker. Wonder if we could build up a gap. Enough of a gap. Because we can really just run these tyres into the ground, these medium ones. We don't really need to look after them. That we could build up a gap where we could get back out into 1st. It's not going to be possible, but says we come out first, so after a pit stop. I don't get why it says that, even though they're only 6 seconds behind, but I don't get it. But I'm wondering, I'm guessing it's because of the shorter pit lane, because as you can see, it does come in. We cut out a little bit of the track, so I'm wondering whether it's a really just, I don't know, I don't get it at all. But we've got Hamilton in third. He doesn't even need to look after these tyres. We can get him onto the mediums. We'll just try and keep him up here. And he has managed to get past Button at some point. We actually missed him getting past Button. He is actually chasing down Vettel, who's having a little bit of problems with a back marker at the moment. Vettel is chasing. Who's he behind here? Number 18. He's behind Bottas. He's having a little bit of trouble with Bottas, who seems to be holding him up here. There's no blue flags out, it seems. He's just getting held up. And we're going to have to look after this fuel now. We're going to have to go into low mode with Hamilton. We're going to have to look after the fuel now with Alonso as well. And we're just going to push this tyre into the ground as well. Hamilton lapping a lot quicker than Sebastian Vettel, who's struggling still to get past. Still to get past Valtteri Bottas, who is holding him up. So as we come up now, we've got Hamilton right behind Alonso. We'll try watch. We'll go for the move on the straight here. Try and get behind Hamilton. We'll push the car. I don't think. And then Vettel managed to get past Valtteri Bottas. Hopefully he's not going to give us the same trouble. No, he doesn't. We get straight past Valtteri Bottas. And you've got Alonso out in first place here. Alonso doing absolutely brilliant. Just if you're interested, I don't think I mentioned, the zoom mod, you can get it from racedepartment.com. It does just sort out, you can zoom really far out as well to see where you are on track. There is 2 versions of the mod. There is the zoom mod, which is this one, which keeps the fast forward rates at the same amount, or there is one which slows down the first play rate, and then this one moves up to a lot quicker, and then the third one, it's just like crazy. You can have a race done in like a couple of minutes, but I've just gone with the normal zoom mod because I don't want the races to go by that quick, because I don't know how you'd even manage it if they went that quick. But we need to get Hamilton into the pits now. It's a shame we don't have another tyre left, isn't it? Another soft tyre. We could have possibly got through qualifying by keeping another 2 fresh pairs, but we don't have it. We've got a medium pair of tyres that we can run into the ground. Should we go fast again with Hamilton? We'll try. Is it going to still come out in 4th? There, he's still going to come out in 4th. Alonso, meanwhile, is by far and away miles ahead in first place. That he's going to come in for his soft tyres now. 8 laps. No, 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 no. No, maybe not. Maybe not. What's Vettel doing? He's staying out a lot longer on these mediums, but they do need to change it at some point. We just need to keep an eye on the tyre. Yeah, we can't bring Alonso in because they're double stack with Hamilton. So let's just watch the pit stop. I'm interested to see what this is like watching the pit stop. You just have to be careful with the tyres of Alonso. He's gone past the pits now, so he's going to be coming in for his last fresh pair of softs after this lap. He says he'll be coming back out in 2nd place, but we know Vettel's still got to pit. And let's just get back to Hamilton. Watch him pit here. See what I do, and everyone's just stood around. And there goes Hamilton. There goes Hamilton out of the pits. He can now push these tyres a little bit because he's got a lot of tyre left. These mediums, even though it says 19%, that's not too bad. It's right about where we want it to be. These can drop to about 10% before you start losing effectiveness on them. As you can see, there's not much speed lost over the last lap. Hamilton there, what can we get? He's currently in 4th place. We want to get him close enough to Vettel here with the undercut. We want him to start catching. He should be ahead of Button easily. We want to try and get him as close as we can to Vettel, so when Vettel decides he needs to come off these medium tyres, we are somewhat close to him. Here comes Alonso out of the pit. Is he going to get back out in 2nd place? Button is closing in fast. It looks like Button's got past as well, but we know Button has got to pit. We just don't want him holding us up here. We just don't want him holding us up. And it's getting pretty dicey with this. We're going to have to go low mode for a little while. Fuel's going to be just about there for Alonso, so we need to go low with Hamilton at the moment. We'll use a little bit of a boost to keep him up to pace here. We have a little bit more fuel to recover with Hamilton. He really pushed his car early on to try and move him up the order. We're running 3rd and 4th at the moment. Vettel is yet to pit. We're still struggling to get past Jenson Button. Button is just ahead at the moment. don't want to waste this tyre until we need to. We can just sort of sit here. Button's still lapping pretty quickly. Shifting to third. Feels a little clunky. What's going? The gearbox is going for Alonso, but it's good enough to get to the end of the race, I feel. And here we go. We've got Button coming in. Is Vettel coming into the pits as well? Vettel is making his pit stop, and he's got problems with his car again, so he's possibly going to be taking a long pit stop. You're going to see where Vettel comes back out in the order here. So Alonso going round. We're going to see Button peel off into the pits, and there we go. We take third, second up. Vettel's gone past the pits. Vettel actually didn't take his pit stop that lap. Is Hamilton going to be able to get past Jenson Button? Here he is. Jenson Button stuck in the pits. What's up with Button? He's not moving at all. Jenson Button, for once, has got problems with his car. Mercedes seemingly had their reliability problems under control. Not working out for them here in Portugal. We're close enough to Vettel that we can get back at him here. Can we do the same with Hamilton? Is Vettel trying to stretch this out? He's gone a long way on these medium tyres. He's gone a long way, and here he comes into the pits. He's sticking there. There goes Alonso. No, a quick pit stop from Vettel. He's chosen not to fix his car. Hamilton's coming up. He's gone on the hard tyre. He mustn't have any soft tyres left. So it's going to be pretty dicey because he's got fresh hards-ons. But he's having problems with his car. And here we go. Try to get past the back marker. That's Danny Kvyat. We just got past. But Alonso out in front now. Fuel not a problem. Fuel not a problem really now for Hamilton either. Can we come back at Vettel? It doesn't look like he's pulling away on these hard tyres. He's really pushing them. Could we do that? Could we push our tyres as well? I know they're really hot, but we're going to try push. We're going to try catch Vettel. I don't think we can. No, we're dropping behind still. Alonso, meanwhile, Vettel's kind of catching him, but we have enough boost left to see him off towards the end of the race. Here we go. The gearbox is going. We don't want to change it. Gearbox is going. It's good enough to get through to the end of the race. We use a little bit of boost. Fly past the back markers. Hamilton's into second. What happened to it? Has Vettel broken down? Vettel has broken down. His car's smoking. We're going to go past him in a second here. And look, we're following Sebastian Vettel. He's still going pretty quick though, but he has retired. I'm guessing he's just going into the pits. And here we go. Catching him. There's a broken down Sebastian Vettel. It says he's 7th place at the moment. And here we go. Passing Vettel. Broken down. I think he broke down in the last race as well. But we're coming up to the final lap now. The gearbox is going for Alonso. It's plenty fine to get through to the end of the race. We can turn stuff down because we're in no trouble from anyone now. We'll just use a boost. Just to see. Just because we can do. But amazing here. Here comes Fernando Alonso. We'll watch him across the finish line. He's coming round. He's got a few more corners to go. He's lapping Kimi Räikkönen here. Lapping Kimi Räikkönen. Are we going to be able to lap him before the end of the race? It doesn't look like it. And we do. We get him on the corner. Lap Räikkönen. And there we go. Finish the race. We'll watch Hamilton across the line as well. Here comes Hamilton. Final corner. Hamilton second. Brilliant race. Once again. Another 1-2. That's the second time this season, I think. I think it's the second time this season. A 1-2. Then we've got the Williams of Daniel Ricciardo. We've got the 2 Red Bulls in 4th and 5th. The Force India, a Toro Rosso. The Renault of Carlos Sainz. We've got a Sauber. And we've got a Russian time in the points. Has Magnussen actually finished? No, he's coming up to finish. He's fighting off. No, that's his teammate Rio Haryanto behind him, who has just lapped. So Russian time. There we go. Russian time score more points once again. Button outside the top 10 in 11th. And where did Sebastian Vettel finish? 18th overall, even though he retired. Raikkonen outside the points. The Ferrari not scoring points once again. So, another extension of our lead in the championship. These teams having real problems here. It's possibly the one thing I don't like about Motorsport Manager. Especially, even with the normal game, it takes teams a long time to get up to scratch. I mean, 1 or 2 reliability problems would be alright, but teams coming in all the time to fix their engines and stuff, it's sort of, yeah. you can't do anything about that. I hope it's something they try to fix for the next patch that's coming out, the one that comes along with the DLC that's releasing all the challenge games as well, which look interesting. So we'll probably be doing videos on them. But Alonso win, Hamilton second. It should put Alonso tied. Is it enough? No, it's not, because Hamilton was 7 points behind. Bottas had a drive-through penalty as well. Not Mercedes struggling once again. Yet Ricciardo in third in the Williams. So there, Alonso, Hamilton leading the drivers' standings. Yeah, because Button didn't even finish in the points, did he? What was I thinking? So Button falling down. We've got Verstappen and Van Dorn doing well. Look at, it's pretty decent to have the 4 drivers that we've had in the last 2 seasons, Alonso, Hamilton, Button and Van Dorn, all in the top 5. Yeah, so amazing. So we should be a long way in front. 83 points in front. 177 to 94 points. Absolutely amazing. So everyone should be really happy. They are. We're nearly at 100% with Scarlett Harrison as a mechanic. And Alonso has hurt himself. Ooh, I wonder what he's done. He's lost a lot of stats from a lot of things here. Don't think it's going to knock him down enough to where we would think about replacing him, but I have to have a look, because Schumacher's not too bad at the moment, but I don't think we're going to take Alonso out. Since he is fighting for the title, we can't really take him out for a race, otherwise it would give Hamilton a massive advantage in the championship. And there we go, £1.9 million into the bank account, pays for another new engine build at some point. And there we go, confirmation that we're still leading the championship. The European Racing Series GP3, Paul Di Resta doing pretty well in the Dragon Racing team, winning the championship at the moment. Dragon Racing on top. I don't think it was a GP2 race this weekend. So yes, another excellent race there. We'll just wait for this to save and then we'll have a quick look at what's happened to Fernando Alonso. It's not dropped that much. I'm guessing he's just lost a stat, hasn't he? Yeah, nothing's actually happened to him. He's just lost his refocus stat or something like that. Yeah, that's what happened. He's not actually injured. He's just lost his stat because Lewis Hamilton will be losing this one. He'll still have that refocus stat for Cape Town, but he'll be losing it for Doha. And I think that's all that he's got at the moment that affects his driving. That's permanent. Yeah, so brilliant race once again. We'll just go through with the press conference. We've got 2 drivers fighting away at the front there. No, never. We won't use team orders. Nothing's coming of it. We're going to let our 2 drivers race for the championship this season. It's really close. 5 points between them. Absolutely amazing. It's going to be interesting to see who can keep going with this. We do have 2 sponsorship slots free now, so we'll be getting new sponsors in time for the next episode. But anyway, this is where we're going to leave this episode today. A 1-2 finish. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below. Come on, you know you want to see McLaren win this title. Possibly tomorrow as well, we will be doing another new Motorsport Championship series. It's going to be a Saturday only. I might move it to twice a week. But it's going to be using a totally different mod. A mod that I do like the look of. So hopefully tomorrow that'll be up. The McLaren video, the next episode of this will be up tomorrow. So this will be up at, I'm thinking of moving this to 4 o'clock. So 4 PM GMT time, this will be going on. This will possibly going on today at 4 PM GMT time. So if you know if this is going on at 4 PM GMT time, that'll be the new time going forward. And then the new series, if I do get it finished in time for tomorrow night, that will be going on at 8 PM GMT time, or maybe 7, sometime around then. So we do have another series coming up. But anyway, until next time, I'll see you down the road in Cape Town for the South African Grand Prix. But until then, goodbye.